Across history and cultures, ghosts exist. They've never been fully proven or disproven. But why do some places feel like something remains?
Every time I come to Ybor City, it's a very, very different sensation.
There might be ghosts. Who am I to say there aren't?
Who knows where ghosts come from? Several people say they have seen them in here.
As far as we know, we don't have any type of demonic presence, and we'd like to keep it that way.
Look carefully and see what you see. I didn't see this when I took this picture. The silhouette of a woman by the Christmas tree.
Right there.
Yeah.
There was no place for anybody to stand there. Is it a fascination with the supernatural, paranormal? I don't know if it's that, but I'm drawn to it because I've had experiences of my own.
Tampa is one of Florida's most haunted cities, attracting amateur and professional ghost hunters from around the world. One of their first stops is the Tampa Theater. Built in 1926, it's home to at least 4 documented ghosts.
I think several of the spirits here are actual intelligent hauntings, not residual. So then the question becomes, are they trapped here or are they here by choice?
Residual hauntings are like a stain. Energy gets left behind as apparitions, sounds, or smells. Intelligent hauntings are when the ghosts know they're with us.
Hey Fink, I brought friends. Probably one of our most famous ghosts at Tampa Theater is Fink Finley, the ghost in the projection booth. We believe it to be Foster Finley, who was our projectionist in life from 1930 to 1965. We've had things fall off the table. We've had lights turn off and on when they shouldn't. We've had people feel like they were being tapped on the shoulder. Every projectionist we've ever had has claimed that somebody was up here with them.
It's not malevolent. It is, something captured in time that continues to occur. What does that harm? You can't explain it, but it's not hurting anybody.
This is the tallest building in Ybor City. Built in 1896, evidence of its hauntings is a little more concrete. Uninhabited for nearly 40 years, it now houses a law firm and is not open to the public.
Now look, I'm not a ghost guy. I don't believe in ghosts, never have, but we definitely have a ghost here. We've only recently had people who saw him, but for 15 years that we were first here, everybody would hear him. I think he's the guy who died on opening day.
The old Florida Brewing Company was the first commercial brewery in Florida. On opening day, a drunken brawl broke out when tragedy struck, leaving the building with a permanent resident. Over 100 years later, the law firm purchased and renovated the building.
Well, before we ever heard of a ghost, we had the weirdest thing happen. And this is in the final phases of construction. They had painted the floor, and somebody came in one day, and I don't know if your cameras are even going to pick this up, but there is a footstep here in the paint, a footstep here, a footstep here, a footstep here, a footstep here, and he just went right through this wall. If you look under here, the footsteps continue. So that there was a footstep that continued here and here. And he worked right his way through here into these walls and then back out again. This was the area where the beer was kept in its final form. This is where the area where they would do the tasting, and I guess he's just coming for another drink of beer.
She watched the handle move by itself and open.
The University of Tampa. Built in 1891 as the Tampa Bay Hotel, it was the first resort in Florida to have electric lights. It's one of the oldest campuses in the U.S. Inside the university's Folk Theater, paranormal encounters are so common, they've almost become part of the curriculum.
There's a saying that every theater has a ghost. We're not an exception. So this is the main auditorium of Folk Theater.
It seats approximately 1,000 people.
It just feels like being watched. It's Bessie. We love Bessie.
Bessie Snaverly.
Yeah, Snavely.
Who was a vaudeville actress from the vaudeville house, but she hung herself one night after a show.
She walked in on her fiance cheating on her with one of the chorus girls. And after finding that out, Bessie went up to her third floor dressing room and hung herself.
Up there in the middle of the So this used to be the dressing room back in like the late 20s, early 30s. It's now currently an AC room. But one thing we do to kind of honor Bessie is for every show, the leading man goes and buys Bessie roses, and they come up here with a program for the show and leave them on her chair.
So you can see there's quite a few bouquets of roses from last year.
Why not spend the rest of your life after you die in a theater?
The professors love Bessie.
Yeah.
She's not a malicious ghost. She's just mischievous.
Tampa has a lot of history. And I think that's what draws people in, the unexplained, the mysterious. To live in a place that you can actually see physically some of that history is exciting.
The Cuban Club, built in 1917. It provided entertainment and health care to thousands of Tampa cigar workers, from cradle to grave. The Cuban Club is a hotbed of paranormal activity. It's also a popular wedding venue.
This is the entrance to the Cuban Club. It's also where all the ghosts hang out. There was a report from neighbors that there was a woman screaming at the top of the building. And so the police arrive here and they couldn't find anything. And they hear screaming again. Well, this time they both went up separate steps, wound their way up, and they didn't find anything. But then they heard screaming down at the bottom of the steps. So they got more officers to come in. They had the maintenance man lock it all up, and they stood guard at both ends of the building. Next day, the lights come on, it's daylight. They come in, can't find anything.
You know, I've gotten a sensation that somebody was going to peek around a corner since I've been sitting here. It's like, who's going to be over here? Who's going to be over here? Who's watching from the theater? Something is around me.
Home to a number of residual and intelligent hauntings, the Cuban Club is considered Tampa's most haunted building.
How many hands touched a railing here? How many folks had a drink down at the bar? How many folks attended a show or a play over the ages? There's still stuff happening here. When you go out into Tampa, there's a lot of brick and mortar here that captures history. So many people believe that there's something else. There has to be something to it, right? For so many people over so many decades, centuries, religions, ethnic backgrounds, countries, to have that similar theme that we believe there's something else, I think there has to be something to that.